Good evening, everyone. Today, we're going to be focusing our discussion on time management. As you're all aware, time management is something that we need to imbibe in our daily routine. Okay, so we're not going to be touching upon all the aspects of time management, but in the interest of time, since we're going to be having 30 minutes of power-packed discussion, we will touch only on one aspect, which is how to beat procrastination. So are you all with me? If yes, please put Y in the chat box. If no, put N in the chat box. Are you ready for a power pack session on how to beat procrastination? Everyone. All right, so I'm getting a lot of yes, 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 yes. Great, great going, great. So yes, let us understand how you can beat procrastination. Now, a couple of things before we get started on to our session today. One of which is that please put yourself on mute, each one of you. All right. And whenever I ask a question like you did right now, you need to just put a yes or no in the chat box. So that will be great enough. And that's where we will be able to manage our time during the entire session. So let's quickly get started onto this. Before we begin, let me share something to you about Learning Equinox as an organization. Now, this organization, Learning Equinox, is something that's the initiative of my little sister, and she is into learning and development, and I just facilitate her in her learning and development projects with corporates. So first, let's just quickly have a 2-minute video. I'll just play this on what is Learning Equinox and what do we do? What are all of the things that we do at Learning Equinox? All right. So yes, we are available on, these are all our social media handles. You can connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. All our sessions which we do, or a lot of informative material is there on our YouTube channel as well. You can follow us on LinkedIn as well as on to Twitter. So this was a little bit about what we do at Learning Equinox. Now let's quickly get into the topic of discussion for today. Yes, so we were on time management. When I talk about time management, what according to you is time management? Why do you actually feel that there should be a concept of time management? Why do you need to manage time? Okay, so I see answers. Time is equal to money. Okay, wow, that's an interesting insight. What else? Time is important. Time is valuable. Wow, wow, wow. Great going. So, yes, exactly. Time is money. And you know what? The only difference between time and money is money, if you lose, you can get it back. Time, you will never get back. And that is the only reason why you need to focus so much or emphasize so much on working upon managing your time. We all have 24 hours in a day, right? Agree? Yes, 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 great. We all have 24 hours in a day. It is not going to increase or decrease. But what you do in a day is what makes a difference in our lives. How do we manage our time? We all are jugglers. Remember that. We all are jugglers. We all juggle our time with a lot of things around us. And the moment we start juggling our things around us, we are capable of managing our time a lot better. And that is what time management actually calls for. But the problem is, you know what? We all feel that we have unlimited amount of time in our life. And for this reason, basically, we start uh, taking it very lightly. Knowingly or unknowingly, we know that time is money. We know that time is important. Okay, let me tell you a story right now. Once upon a time, there was this little child who went up to his father and asked him, "How much do you make in a day?" So the dad said, "Why are you asking me this silly question? How does it even matter to you? Go and please do your studies. This is not something that should bother your mind." So the little boy then asked, "No, Papa, I really want to know how much do you make in a day?" So he said, "I make around 5,000 in a day and I work for 10 hours a day." The dad was a very hardworking dad. He used to every day in the morning rush to work at around 8 o'clock and come back late at night. He used to put in dedicated 8 to 10 hours in a day. And he used to also, he had a growing career and a fantastic life and things like that. So on an average, he said, "Beta, I make around 5,000 rupees in a day." Uh, uh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, 5,000 rupees in a day. So the little boy said, "Okay, fine, Papa." Then what he does, he goes inside his room, the little boy, and he checks his piggy bank. And in his piggy bank, he says, "Oh my God, I have only 300 rupees." So if I say 5,000 rupees in a day, 10 hours a day means at least 500 per hour. So if I want my dad's 1 hour, I would need at least 500 rupees. And I am having only 300 rupees. So the next day when the dad comes back home from work, he goes to his dad and said, "Papa, can you give me 200 rupees?" So the dad gets very upset. "Yesterday you are asking me this. Today what now? What new thing did you do? Did you go to school, or did you got some complaint in school? You fought with a friend, or you want to buy a new toy? What is it? Why do you want the 200 rupees?" So the little boy said, "No, Papa, I'll tell you later, but can I have 200 rupees?" So the dad was a little frustrated. He didn't want to shell out, but then he said, "Okay, fine. My son is asking. Let me give him the 200 rupees." And he gives him the 200 rupees. So this little boy is very excited. He goes into his room. He breaks his piggy bank. He takes out the 300. 300 and 200 makes 500. He takes all of that money and goes to his dad. "Papa, can I have your 1 hour? This is 500 rupees." The dad is in all tears. Tears start rolling down his eyes. He's like, what did my son think about me? Now, in this example, in this story that I just told you, let's figure out one thing. The father was a really hardworking, sincere man. He did not waste his time. All right. And the son was also a very genuine son. He wanted the time of his dad. Where was the gap? The gap was in the understanding. The child needed 1 hour of his father's time to make it a precious moment for himself, or rather, I would say for both of them. Father was so busy, so occupied in making money that he failed to give time to his child. We all do at different points of time. We face this situation, not because the father did anything wrong or the son was wrong. It's just that we do not prioritize what we want in our life. Of course, prioritization is another aspect of time management, which we will come towards the fag end of our discussion today more in detail. But yes, whether it's relationships, whether it is work, whether it is just going out for a cup of coffee with a friend, meeting and socializing, all of that are important bits and aspects of our life. The mistake that we do, the biggest mistake that we do, that is we fail to understand or we fail to prioritize what is important in life. uh, the father forgot that, maybe the son is looking for his time. That is where the gap occurred. So that is the reason now we said time is money. Most of you agreed and put their time is money. Of course, time is money, but this money is so precious that it's never going to come back. You don't know who the hell on in your life is looking up to you for that perfect moment to spend that great time with you. Maybe your spouse, maybe your parents, maybe your child. Who is that person who's craving for your time? And all our times are divided. They're divided between many people. They're not only, the time is not only for us. We have to give time to our work, we have to give time to our personal life, we have to give time to health, we have to give time to relationships, we have to give time to people around us, to friends, and to socialize. Every single aspect of our life is very important. And guess what? You need to do all in the 24 hours that you have. That's where the challenge come, and that's where the aspect of time management plays a very significant role. This is the reason why we need to manage our time. But what happens in our life? What happens practically? What we do? We're not capable of doing prioritizing what we want. We're not capable of understanding what's expected out of others, and we mess up, right? Agree with me? Yes or no? If yes, put Y in the chat box. If no, put N. Quickly. Okay, so I see a lot of yes coming. Yes, we do that. I know we do that. But yes, let's overcome this together. Let's get over it. And this is going to come only when we understand the root cause of the problem. And the root cause of the problem, in simple terms, is called as procrastination. So, yes, loss of time is the biggest loss. Once time lost, it will never come back. Once time lost, it will never come back. You all agree to this. Yes, you already told me that time is money. But the only difference between money and time is that time lost will never come back. So what do you do? What do you do to bring out an equation in the entire story? Bring out the equation in your life to make sure that you're able to categorize or to bucket time for each one of us, for your family, for your relationships, for your work, for your goals, for your own self, for your health, and so on. So definitely you need to do something different. If you're not capable of achieving it, then definitely there's a problem there. And to solve a problem, you need to come out with a solution. For that, you need to first understand the problem in detail. And this problem is called as procrastination. So when I say procrastination is something that is, as per the definition, if you go to see, as per the definition that's there in the over the internet, or as per the dictionary definition, if I call it, it is called as the gap between the intent and action. What do I mean by this? What is the gap between intent and action? I thought I'll do this thing. I thought I'll do this also, this also, this also, this also. Fantastic. I want to do everything. I want to achieve everything. Success has to be just mine because I am capable of doing everything in this entire world. I will multitask. I will manage my time in the best possible way. We all think like that. But what we do in our action is what brings that gap in our lives. So, what is our intent and what is the action that we bring to the table? The difference between the two is what is procrastination. And why do we procrastinate? Any thoughts, any ideas? Quickly put your thoughts and ideas in the chat box. Why do we procrastinate? Why, according to you, you feel people procrastinate? And it's a global problem. Please don't take anything personal. It's not about you, it's not about me. It's about everybody in this entire universe. All of us face this problem at some point of time or the other. The only way to get rid of it is to overcome it through a lot of practice. So here I would like to say one thing, that, the truth is going to be in the lie. When I say lie, I mean learn, implement, and energize. Whatever I'm going to be teaching you in the coming, few minutes, or whatever snapshot of this entire story that you take home, Remember, whatever you learn today, you're going to be implementing it in your life. And uh, how are you going to be implementing it in your life? You will be practicing it every single day. We all know that anything that you do, anything that you do for a continuous of 21 days becomes a temporary habit. If you continue it for 90 days, it becomes a permanent habit. Whenever it's lunchtime, we are hungry. Yeah, that's automatic. That's simply because from childhood we have been taught that around the afternoon time we will be hungry and we crave for food. We get up in the morning and we brush our teeth. Each one of us does that activity simply because our mind is tuned to that. So and so, in the similar fashion, when we understand what is the root cause of procrastination and work towards solving those problems of procrastination, we definitely will be able to troubleshoot it. And by this, we can do only by the light, that is, learning it, how it can be done, implementing it in our life, and implementing it continuously for a period of 90 days, so that we can energize over it, so that we can execute it, so that we can have be successful in getting over to the problem. All right, with me so far? Yes. So yes, there have been a lot of things that you all have been putting in the chat box as to why do we procrastinate. Mindset says someone. Habit, because we procrastinate because of habit. So change that. That's all the that's the objective of this session. If it's a habit, change it. If you are procrastinating because of the mindset, change your mindset. How? I will help you do that. So, whatever be the problem, you need to overcome it, right? So, first, let us understand why do people procrastinate. Let us look at each and every point of why individuals procrastinate in their lives. First and foremost, craving for perfection, waiting for that excellent moment in your life that only when all things around me are perfect, I will go ahead and do this, right? There was once a study which was conducted, and in that research is a fantastic research. Okay, this in this research, what happened, a group of people was there, and they were divided into two groups. So let's say 10 and 10, two groups of people were framed, and the person who framed the group gave the first group an instruction that go out to nature and bring in photographs of nature. So the maximum number of photographs you get, you will be evaluated on that. So within a time of 1 hour, whatever number of photographs you're getting, you will be evaluated on that. There was this second group of people who was told that you need to get that perfect picture of nature, maybe a flower or whatever it is. You need to get that perfect picture from nature, and you also get a 1 hour's time, and you will be not evaluated on the number of pictures that you get, but just one picture, but that has to be the most beautiful picture according to you as a group. So both the teams went to do their respective activities, and they were back within an hour. And you will be amazed to see that the one who was told to go and get maximum number of pictures actually went and got really large number of pictures. But the group which was told to have that perfect picture didn't even do one. The reason being, it was all in their mind. They were waiting for that perfect moment. They were waiting. All of them were thinking on different ways, different means, different methods, and they were not successful in completing their task in that given 1 hour. So is with life. We crave for perfection in our life. When this will happen, then we will be able to do it. Right now, I don't have the adequate resources. Right now, it's not available. Right now is not the right time. I have 10 other things to complete. I will finish that and then I will do it. I will do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. There is no perfect time. Stop craving for perfection and start doing things. The next reason why we procrastinate is the fear of failure. If I start right now, I don't know, I might just fail. I might not be successful in achieving what I want to achieve, what I'm set out to achieve. Maybe this may not work for me. We all think like that, and that is the fear of failure that we feel. Multitasking. I can multitask. I can do a lot of things at the same time. It's okay. That's the way I'm going to manage my time. All right. And in the process of multitasking, we'll end up doing nothing. We crave for a lot in our lives. We want this also. We want a perfect health. We want a perfect body. We want great relationships in our life, we want a better salary or a better business. We all crave for that. And for this, I'll do this and I'll do that and I'll do every single thing. And what happens with all of that? We invite stress in our minds. And what happens with stress? We are not capable of doing any damn thing. And when you're not capable of doing anything, you say, oh, but I am capable. It's not that, see, we all want to do, but the idea of doing multiple things blogs our minds. And that is what I mean by multitasking as a problem to procrastination. So that's where you must be very, very careful that what's coming to your mind, is it actually hitting you there? Is it actually you're capable to adjust and do in a structured manner so that you're able to achieve your goals or achieve your tasks during the day? So stop multitasking if you think, because that's one of the biggest stress creator. Not that others are not, all are stress creators. If you're craving for perfection, you'll keep waiting towards the time the deadline will come and then you say, I have not done anything. I have not achieved anything. And that is a problem. So stop craving for perfection. Stop having the fear of failure. Inadequate skills and knowledge. Do you have the right kind of skills or not? Doesn't matter. Given a task, most of us think, no, we'll search on the internet, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll figure out for ourselves, we will learn in the process. Especially in our country, we see that we fail to ask, and when you do not ask, the answer, remember, is always no. Unless you do not ask, the answer is always no. Remember that. And that is the key. So if you're not having the right kind of skills, either go and acquire those skills. And if you're not capable of acquiring, please, the one who has given you the task, tell that person, I need more information. I need to do it in a better manner. I am not equipped to do it. So uh, what do I say? Come to consensus with the fact that there is something inadequate in us. Acquire that knowledge, acquire that skill, learn it, and then see how you are able to not procrastinate. So this is one of the reasons we don't have the skill, but we still wait for the right time. And then we say towards the end, because we are not capable of doing it, because we don't have the right kind of skill, what happens is we do not land up doing it. We're not able to close it. And since we're not able to close it, what happens is people say, this person always procrastinates. And that is not a favorable taste, because you were trying your best, right? You were looking onto the internet and wanting to complete everything on time and do it. But inadequate skills is one of the showstoppers. All right. Let's move on to the next and the last one. The main reason why people procrastinate: negative emotions. If trust me, if you do not like somebody, you will not want to do things for them. If you do not like a particular person, if you're having a negative emotion towards a thing or a person, you will not be capable of completing that task. So that is one of the showstoppers. Which one of all of these is yours? Figure that out. Why do you procrastinate? Why do you procrastinate? Is it because you've been waiting for the perfect thing? Is it because you are fearing failure? Multitasking. Now that's not for me. You're not going to be putting any answers in the chat box for me. But figure that out for yourself. And this is what you can say, a crux of what generally people face. There could be something else also, but this is what I feel in a general format. These are the reasons, the key reasons why people procrastinate. So you can definitely look into what is your reason. And it's going to vary with situations, with circumstances. So there could be certain things you might want to multitask. There could be certain person or certain things where you have a negative emotion attached. Which one of these is yours? At that point of time, you need to figure out what is that showstopper which is letting you procrastinate and not helping you do that thing on time. Get rid of it. That is the only way. Get rid of it. And how? Let me explain that as well. How can you work towards getting rid of procrastination? First and foremost, just do it. Especially when you're craving for perfection, when you're craving for getting over certain emotions, the only way is just go out there and do it. Just do your task. Now, can you see that red man jumping from one rock to another? Yeah, yes. So what does that mean? That person, there's a risk of there's a pond of crocodiles down below with risk, and there's an opportunity. Now, let me tell you, we all are there. We all are that person, that red man standing out there. You have two choices. Either keep standing on this rock. You can see that board of opportunity, right? It's very visible. We all can see it. It's visible to us. We all can also see the risk in the bottom, right? There is risk in that pond. There are crocodiles in the pond. We are at this side of the rock, all right? We all are there. How many of us take that leap, take that jump towards achieving our, towards seeking the opportunity? Seeing the opportunity, it's visible. I can see it from this side of the rock as well. But to take that plunge, you will have to take the plunge over the ocean of risk, and that is life. So all you need to do is just go out there and take that plunge. Just do it. And that is the only way you can beat procrastination. The number one way where you can beat procrastination. Just go out there and take action. Risks will be there. There will be not two, there will be 10 crocodiles in your river. Might not be two or three. There would be hundreds of crocodiles in your river. But what is the loss? There is a loss, I do understand, but unless you do not take that plunge, you will not know it. Otherwise, don't expect miracles from your life. Live a very average life, and that is it. But that's not what we want. The whole idea of you all being here for this session on how to beat procrastination is that you want to actually beat procrastination. So, this is the solution. Just go out there and do it. All right. The next way in which you can beat procrastination. Now, what do? We juggle with time, right? In the beginning, I only mentioned we are all jugglers. We have to manage time, so we juggle with time. We are all jugglers, but there is one thing that stops us. Now, our mind is so vast that it can think of unlimited ideas, unlimited thoughts. I want to do this also. I want to do that also. I want to achieve everything in life, but we fail to realize that time is limited. Remember that you actually have very limited resources in your life, but an unlimited mind. Your mind is very hungry for a lot of things. And it's not me, it's not you, it's a universal problem. We all know that our minds are unlimited, but we are having very limited resources in our life. What do? You need to break up. You need to do something called as scheduling. You need to do something called as assigning or prioritizing your task. When you go for a buffet, what do? Try this. Take your plate, fill everything on that plate and come and sit to eat. You will not feel like eating, or you will not be able to eat too much for two reasons. One, by looking at that so full plate, your stomach is half full. And secondly, uh, once you start eating, you start realizing, oh my God, I've taken so much, I've taken so much. And with that fear, the fear, you stop, you can't eat that much. On the other hand, go one by one. Start with the soup, then appetizers, then starters, then take little, then take your main course, and then you take your dessert. If you do that in bits of installments, what happens? You actually land up eating well. I would not say more, but you actually land up eating well. Better than in case one, right? All of you have experienced that. If yes, put Y in the chat box. If no, put N in the chat box quickly. Yes, yes, yes. Too much of eating. Yes, yes, yes. Right, right. So, yes, same is with life. We want to do so many things and we clutter it in such a manner that we, without prioritizing, without understanding what is important, what is not important for us, and we make a whole list and we start just gobbling it in our mouth. But you forgot there is limited time. Okay, so keep this in mind that you have limited resources but an unlimited mind. Follow a schedule. Learn to prioritize tasks. We'll come to that a little bit later. How prioritization happens, we'll come to that later. The third reason of procrastination, what I told you about multitasking, keep yourself away from distractions, one thing at a time, and that done well is the best of all, as time can tell. How many of you remember this? One thing at a time. is very, very important. Now, what does this mountain climber depict? What if this mountain climber at this stage, as you can see in the picture, opens his WhatsApp and starts checking his message? What will happen? He will fall, he will die. The loss of opportunity for him is death. In the same way, what happens when we want to take that plunge in life? I just explained a while ago. When you want to take that plunge from one end to the other, there's a pond of risk below. We get distracted and we fall here. It's not because we are not focused on the opportunity that's there, but we get distracted in the entire course of this plunge. And that is where we fall in this basket of risk. In a similar manner, if this mountain climber gets distracted, what will happen? If he wants to check his WhatsApp message at this time, or he gets distracted by a social media notification that comes on his phone, the loss is the loss of life. We do not treat time like that. That is our problem. In our daily lives, what we do is we fail to realize the importance of time, because the risk that we lose is not in terms of our lives. This person will die. We don't have that loss. We don't have that liberty. We have a lot of liberty with time. Aaj nahi to kal. Today, if not today, we will do it tomorrow. And that exactly is procrastination. Why tomorrow? One thing at a time without getting distracted is the way out. And how you're going to be doing that, let me tell you another trick of doing that, and which is very, very simple. We'll come to this a little bit later. Yeah, here are a couple of reasons why we keep fooling ourselves. As you can see, isn't it wonderful how we keep fooling our lives? We keep fooling ourselves every single day. I am too busy. It depends on somebody else's input. There is something urgent that's come up. I will give it to somebody else. And that person has not yet come back. I have delegated to someone, but that person has not come back. Now, let me tell you, delegation is an art. When we discuss delegation some other time, I will tell you how you can set your entire business on autopilot mode. But that's not the topic of discussion for today. So it's not my job. So I don't know, I'll not do it. All right. We fall a prey of all of this. So in order to solve this problem, I'm going to tell you something else. 50 is full. 50 is actually half. Half is 50. 50 is full, but I'm saying 50 is full. I would want you to actually practice this, and this is something that has worked for me. That's something that any professional who is into learning or who has done any professional course will relate to this, because that's where we actually practice this. But then when it comes to our lives, our corporate lives, and our jobs and in our careers, we forget about it. So this is what I mean by 50 is full. Take one task, okay? Take 1 hour of your time. You have to complete that within 1 hour. And what you have to do for that, you have to imagine that your entire day is not of 24 hours, is not of 5 hours, 6 hours or something, but only of 50 minutes. You have only 50 minutes in your entire day. Now, somebody in the beginning said habit, mindset. This is where you need to invest your mind in. It's a mindset. It's not going to happen when you start doing it today, tomorrow. And that is where I told you the truth is in the lie. You need to energize yourself. You need to learn, implement it, and energize it. Only then it will become a habit. Imagine your day of only 1 hour. Out of that, 50 minutes of your day is when you will complete your task. 10 minutes you will take a break. So imagine when you sit to do a task, it is only that 50 minutes that you have. After 50 minutes, you're going to die. Like the mountaineer. If he gets distracted, he's going to die. In 50 minutes, if you don't do, you are going to die. Very simple. Very, very simple, but yet very difficult to implement, because you need a lot of practice for this. You need to you need to tune your mind. You need to tune your thoughts in a manner that's going to tell you. Like, for example, when I was doing my studies, I used to make sure that, we used to study 14, 18 hours in a day. And when you're studying for that long, it's very important that you take short breaks. Again, in this 10 minutes, you can use all the possible distractions of the world, or just have a cup of coffee, whatever you like. But Make sure that 50 minutes dedicated. So if I've categorized, I'm going to do 10 or 15 pages in the 50 minutes, I will mark it that and I'll just do that. That's it. And then close that, those pages. It has to be completed. And I have to remember that. I'm not going to do it again. That I'll do again when my next revision will come to place. So in this way, you have to tune every task of your life, any job that you're doing, then everything will be as per schedule. There is no question of completing partial. You have to be 100% complete. But the biggest showstopper in this is, what? We feel that, okay, fine, others are not able to do, so what if I'm not able to do? We start comparing individual life with life of others. Okay, this person has not done everything, I've also not done, so it's okay if I don't finish. And we all are tuned to that thought. But remember one thing: integrity, honesty, self realization is something that doesn't have chances. It is only 100% which is right. There is no two ways about it. There is no 70-80% in life. It's 100% only. If you do not follow this, then you will fall prey of a lot of other things which you, you can live like the ordinary. It's as simple as I can say as that. When you set your life goals, you have to figure out what you want from your life, what you want, crystallize it down into every single day task. When we do goal setting, I will talk to you about this. You need to crystallize it into daily activities, and those daily activities into every single task that you do in a day. That will help you achieve your goals. And those tasks follow this principle: 50 minutes is the end of the day, complete, next, and so on. This is the only mantra that will help you succeed. Try it. I'm telling you, after trying and testing it, not just like that. Now, in order to do that, you will have to have those priorities. For prioritization, there is the Eisenhower matrix. Now, in the interest of time, I cannot be playing that video, but how you're going to be scheduling it into 4 quadrants of important, significant tasks, urgent tasks, not urgent tasks, and so on, which is important, which is urgent, which is important, which is not urgent, which is not urgent, which is not important but urgent. How you're going to be segregating those tasks and how you will work towards this segregation is something which is explained very well in the Eisenhower matrix. And this video you can watch on our YouTube channel. So you can quickly, after this session, you can go and you can watch it on our YouTube channel, and you will understand how exactly it can help you prioritize. Further, when we do prioritization as a topic, obviously I will discuss that a little more in detail. But just to have an idea about how you're going to be categorizing these, you can have a look at that video. So that's all for our discussion today. Any questions so far? Please put your questions in the chat box. And in the chat box right now, I am just pasting a link, which is the link of the feedback form for our session today. So I would recommend each one of you to go back and fill in this feedback form to help us understand more about ourselves, and in case there's any scope of improvement, we can definitely look into it. So please feel free to share your feedback, your honest feedback with us. And that's all for our discussion, or for a short discussion on time management and how to beat procrastination. Any questions? The room is open for Q&A now. So you can obviously unmute yourself as well and ask me questions if any, or you can even put it in the chat box. That's perfectly all right. Okay, great session. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for those of you who mentioned this great session. Thanks so much. Thank you all for a patient listening. I hope this resonates with you, and someday you're going to be going back home and implementing in your day-to-day lives, because that's where would be an actual thank you for me. That's where I would be happy to see changes and transformation that I've brought about in people's lives. So thank you very much for this patient listening, and have a great day ahead. Do not forget to share the feedback in the feedback form. That is very important for us, because that is the only thing that will help us understand the scope of improvement.